Hello, everybody, and what we're going to talk about today, whoa, we're going to talk about how you're supposed to be a shapeshifter. And they have literally took that away from you. You wouldn't even believe that that even exists, but you're supposed to be able to shapeshift into anything that surrounds you. Sometimes this can seem like it's figurative, but it can go, you're supposed to be able to do it physically and mentally, shapeshift, regardless. There's never supposed to be a situation where you find yourself stagnant. You're always supposed to be moving. Light always moves, and that's what you are, a star seed. You are a god and goddess. And the parasitic beings that have also been working with some of the deities have been keeping you bound, and some of your information is not available. You're basically lately, all you have been doing is using that 10%. They've been keeping you on that 2% level, but in your mind, that 10% of your brain, that's all you've been using. That's all they have allowed. If you research, for the longest time, they were saying that the rest of that is just junk DNA, which is not true. That information that they call junk DNA is all of your memory, all of the things that you have been through, all of the things that they have done to you. All of that stuff is in there. You're not supposed to come here and just rely on Akashic records. You're supposed to have all that stuff and what they call junk DNA, which is all around your auric field, all around you. You as a star, you have many layers to you. And I mean physically. I'm not just talking about no jargon far as mythos or something like that. I'm literally talking about you, Starseed. All the things that I say in here that's going to be in this video will be literal. I'm not playing around, We're all ready to go. We are excited about leaving this place. We no longer want this earth thing. The only future we want to see is bliss, and that we're only going to be able to achieve that in our cosmic home, in our cosmic space. Right now, as I speak, there is a galactic battle going on for the light, for our light. That is what's going on. You may not see this battle because they put all type of things in front of your face. You might not see this battle because you hear about so-called natural disasters. Sometimes it's natural disasters, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's to cover up all the battling and things like that your side is doing, that our side is doing. They may have started this war, but we will definitely finish it. And don't think for a second that your ancestral, our fellow star seeds, is not fighting our battles, is not fighting with us in this. They are assisting more than we can imagine. That's why it's so great if you connect with them, connect with your ancestral line. No one knows you like the ones that have been in the battleground with you. They have stood and been re-looped. What I call re-loop is reincarnation. They have done it with us over and over and over. They have all been betrayed by the parasitic being. They have all been betrayed by deities and other beings as well. How do you know we sustained so long here? Because some of the things that we call on was not our allies. Some of those elementals was not our allies. Some of those deities definitely was not our allies. Some of the things that we call on, which I'm mentioning here, was never our friend. They was given the order by the galactic team to not commune with us. And yet in our memory, we can recall. They have placed implanted memories for us to call on them and yet get rejected. That's why it takes so long, star seeds, for you to receive anything that you get. Majority of the time, you're pulling it from your own cosmic light, your original light that right now you have to fight for. You are creating things literally for yourself. No one is really assisting besides your ancestral line. You are a god and goddess. A lot of your power is coming from you. You have to fight for your light, literal. Don't think that it's a game. It is not. And it is a 24/7 thing. Yes, I wanted to say that. So what I'm going to start off by, I have my notes as usual. I always have my stuff written down so it can kind of easily flow and we can get through this thing. The first thing I said was, the star seeds, you're supposed to be able to literally shapeshift. You're not supposed to be stagnant. One of the examples I used is weight. The fact that you eat food and gain weight is a cover up for you being able to shapeshift. Did you know that you're supposed to be able to consume anything you want, and your desired weight is supposed to be whatever you want? Whatever that energy you decide you want to be, you're supposed to be able to do that. If you wanted to change your skin, you're supposed to be able to do that. Not just a deity or some other spiritual being is supposed to be doing that. That's your stuff. You're supposed to be actually doing it in this space they call Earth. You're not supposed to have to wait till you get across the veil or in spirit or things like that. Those are all the things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have keen sight, hearing, all that stuff now, not later, Starseed. You are literally seeing how far we all have fallen by you being really reduced, us being to a human. We were never supposed to get to the level of a human. We were always supposed to be in 10.0 regardless. I don't know if somebody said that, but they should have. I'm saying it now. You are not supposed to be a human. A star seed, a god or a goddess was never supposed to transform in a human. That's because of all the mutations, the experimentations, all the walk through the doors, and they done all type of things to us in what we call the dream, astral realm, all that stuff. And they have finally reduced us to this carbon matter, which is what helps us keep us down. Gravity is not our friend. Gravity is our enemy. We are supposed to float like helium in the sky and fly faster than the vulture. That is what we're supposed to do. Nothing less. Anything less lets us know with an alert that something is wrong. Something is indeed wrong, Starseed. I hope you have already tried and attempted beyond trying and literally doing, far as pulling down your cosmic light that belongs to you. That is yours. That does not belong to another race. It belongs to you. It is yours. I wonder if you guys did your homework and typed in on some of these social networks, star seeds, and see if you see someone that looks like you. I couldn't. I might have counted, oh my God, on that first page, maybe one or maybe two, but it was like, wow, does the sky not belong to us? They want to erase us and put us somewhere else under, not above, but we're supposed to be above. That is our home. That is our home. It was our home first. Ours. Please, I suggest that you watch the video to be caught up with how we got to where we are now. So I'll proceed forward. Because I said the fact that you eat food and gain weight is a cover up for you being able to shape shift. You're supposed to shape shift into whatever form you want. But they made you believe that by eating, which will equate to you being a human, and you're going to believe that you cannot shape shift to the point that it's solidified. Now you actually can't. It's really difficult for you to shape shift and transform into this thing without you having a cause and effect. A cause would be you go exercise and now you lose the weight. A cause would be now I go buy me a wig. A cause would be now I go buy me a new shirt and then I'll look like this or I feel like this. No, you're supposed to feel however you want to feel because you are a god and goddess. That's period. It does not matter. You're supposed to physically, instantly be able to change your image. If that's what you choose, you're not supposed to have to wait till you go to another space or things like that, or till this one drops. You're supposed to be able to work with this carbon and matter and command it and whip it all the type of ways that you deem fit. You don't have to wait on somebody else to give you permission to do that. That is your right as a god and goddess, as the original who stood with the supreme. Okay. I said they have implemented so many cause and effects, mainly stating because you are human, that's the cause. But you are not human. So what's the excuse? You're not human. So now what? There is no excuse for that. And then I have here, the reason we have been brainwashed, you and I have been brainwashed, is because their belief in what they think balance is. There was no need for balance, because everything that a starseed needed or wanted or desired was able to create instantly. All was in harmony with the white light. All was in harmony. The parasitic being, I told you before, does not come with feeling. It was created out of bacteria. That's its origin. It doesn't feel. It needed us to feel and us to create. It started sucking on our light, and then they started grabbing and mutating and doing all type of strange things to our creations. It's like they took the white light and put their finger on it, and all of it turned black and gunky. Everything they touch rots and spoils. Everything. We are the beginning. We are the star seeds. It's ours. It's our creative light. And it's been too long that we have let them create for us. I'm pretty sure some of you do not like having to go to a job. A goddess has to work and has to listen to a boss. When have you found a god or a goddess has to listen to a boss? Huh? They are the boss. In the beginning, they was given the right to rule over everything that they could desire and create. They had the light to do so. There was no realm or dimension or nothing that they couldn't roam and go. They was never trapped in a temporal body. How many of us can jump out? How many of us can jump out without it being that way that they say that's the only way to get out? How many? And I'm not talking about when we walk through the door of what I call sleep. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about instantly now, the things that we're supposed to do. Zero. But we're supposed to do it. So I got here, originally, balance, cause and effect, did not exist, only cause. And the effect was always on our side. Regardless, everything we could think to create always turned out beautiful. And that's why you're here. They want to bind and bound you to this space, because without you, there will be darkness and cold. Period. There would be no star. You are the real star. That sun that you may see in that sky, it is penetrating from you. You are the light. You are the light that lights the space. And it gets brighter and brighter every time your cosmic light, your personal cosmic light comes within you. You light up beyond just a figurative. You light up the room. No. You light up the world. You light up the galaxy. You light up the universe. That is you. This is not figurative. I am literal. I am literal, Starseed. And I have here, there wasn't any need for hardship because something great happened. They have us thinking, sitting here, that if something good happens to us, something bad must happen as well. And that is not true. All a starseed used to see or have is good, 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 good. There was no need for entropy and things like that until the parasite got involved. Don't think for a second you couldn't live blissful because you did before. You had all your wishes and your desires. Now they got you on a planet thinking that it has to be some type of balance. They want you to believe in the dark. Nothing about you is dark. Nothing. And you have traversed many layers. But that dark that they're trying to talk about is something that you're trying to cleanse. You're trying to drop all that baggage. Not because a galactic team said that you should come here and heal. That's not why. Because you don't want to return home with it. That was your choice, not a galactic team member. Not the ones that got you in here. That's a personal decision that we all have come to. Whether you live over here or I live over here, sometimes something about this space has us in sync. Well, we know that we need to drop all this black gunk and ascend. It's weight. It's literally weight on us. And that's why they have been able to reloop us. But no more. We have to raise beyond just raise a consciousness. You are already aware. But now it's time to pour your personal light. That is the next step. And I mean literal. I mean literally pour down your personal light. Not the light of someone else, but yours. That is how you take flight. That is what makes you more keen and aware to things that are around you. That is what makes you know and see the parasitic being before he or she comes across your path. Your light, it belongs to you. And the parasitic being has been stealing it over and over. And he or she has gotten so comfortable that they place all your light around you and tell you you can't touch it. Look at your monetary value. I'm pretty sure that it's not where you would like it to be. But you have seen things in this world that has a whole lot of monetary value. And you know what? It's yours. They don't have to hide it from you. They say, what are you going to do? Nothing. What have you been doing over 1 billion years? Nothing. But that's because we were asleep. And I don't mean like this. I mean asleep, far as our awakening was not there. And it was on purpose. They did it on purpose. On purpose. They sent fake leaders, fake people that's telling us all type of jargon, fake deities. Some very rare will come in our race and teach us all type of crazy things. But if your gut does not feel it is true, it is not. Don't just listen to me. Listen to yourself. Listen to that feeling. Listen to that intuition, your own, that a starlight has its own intuitive space that he or she can go to and find all the type of information that he or she needs. Secondary information is always in the worst case scenario. Your goal is always supposed to be to reach your own level. Now I can assist, but I can't take you there. I can only assist, and that's what I'm doing here. And you have to go the rest of the way. That is the goal of a starseed. Don't ever let somebody tell you different. You don't need a leader. You are a leader. You was born a leader. You are a god and goddess. A god and a goddess never needs a leader. Now they may have assistance as far as having a guide, and even those have let us down. Do not believe all this jargon. Some of your so-called guides have been sleeping on the job because, like I said, I mentioned that monetary value. I mentioned some of us being sick and things like that. Why is that if we got all these spiritual guides and things like that? That's because there are parasitic beings that's pretending as our guides when they are, in fact, our guards in this prison that they have us. Okay. So what else I have here is, I'll start right here. I'll start over right here. There wasn't any need for hardship because something great happened. They fooled us by calling it entropy. So they could torture us and give us a reason why. And some of their reasons are as follows. Excuse me. Maybe you didn't pray enough. We all heard that, or all believe that. Maybe you didn't believe enough. Maybe you didn't have enough faith. Maybe you wasn't calling on them the right way. Maybe you didn't do it as many times. Maybe the ritual just wasn't for you. Maybe the spell didn't like your energy or things like that. Maybe you didn't have enough faith. Maybe you didn't try hard enough. You know, all these maybes. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff was supposed to work for you, Starseed. You was never supposed to rely. You was never supposed to get to a point, you or I, where we had to rely on someone else. But we find ourselves here now. We find ourselves here today like that, having to rely. But you need to know that that's not what it was supposed to be. You were supposed to step into this world, not life. Life means you stay. A world means you visit. You were supposed to step into this world and visit. Have all your keen sight, your keen hearing. What else were you supposed to have? You're supposed to be able to fly. You were supposed to be able to shapeshift. You're supposed to be able to read mental minds. You were supposed to not rely on using this and use the field around your auric field to actually speak. You were supposed to always be able to tap into your universal consciousness. There was nothing that was supposed to actually stop you. You were supposed to be able to do it on a whim whenever you wanted to. There is no no. There was never supposed to be a no for you or I can't. That word I can't always comes from the parasite. I can't. I don't know how. Always comes from the parasite. Like I told you before, they had meetings with other parasitic beings and other deities on the board before you came. You are always the focal point on this meeting, in those meetings. And one of the things that they wanted to focus on in that meeting is the wordplay, the things you saw out of your optical vision, how you interpret things, and how fast you're able to adapt to strange places. And when I mean adapt, become complacent, where you can say, well, this is normal. This is what a human does. But you're not a human and you'll never be a human. I don't care how downgraded or watered down or mutated you are. You will always be a starseed. And I'm happy to tell you, not sad to tell you, I'm happy to tell you, you will always be a starseed. You will always be a god and goddess. They can never take that from you, ever. They have took so many things from you that when you finally leave this space, it's going to be heartbreaking and sickening. Some of the things that they had you involved in. It will, oh my God, if you don't wake up now, you're going to wake up later. Either way, the information is flowing, and not just through me. It's like through the ether, through the air, through the sky, through all types of things. The information is flowing. That's how I know that it is definitely a battle going on, and we are the victors. And I know you heard that before, you know, but they try to downplay it. I made that video before about sometimes we lose interest so fast with things like that, and that's done on purpose so we can move on to the next thing that doesn't even matter. When that thing that we got disinterested in was the thing that we were supposed to focus on, was the thing that's supposed to enlift us, make us feel just great, but we just throw it away like it's nothing. It's like it's hard to focus, and that is on purpose. That is on purpose. When you lose your thought and you could be really into a groove of a conversation and you be like, and be aware the parasitic being is always close by. You just cannot see with your optical. Okay. I also have here, I say they implemented all those reasons so they can have a reason to hurt you. And the reason they said that they needed to hurt you, well, they didn't say, they just have been, it's just been things that so-called humans go through. So they actually didn't say, the parasitic being didn't say that it had to hurt you. But everybody know that if they have lived here, they really feel like that when things are going well, man, something is bound to happen. It just is. I feel it. And you can just be having a wonderful day, but automatically your mind and everything around you tells you that something is going to go wrong. And why is that so dialed down in us? It's because the parasitic being, along with the other galactic teams, have implemented that in our space. Not only in our space, but in these carbon bodies within our DNA, all the way back from slavery times, past Kemet, all that stuff, when they was doing the experiments and things on us secretly. Now they do them openly and you don't even know. And they start by doing them when we actually go through those doors of what I call sleep, which is going to other worlds. Check out those other videos. Don't miss them. Okay, I have some more here. Let me see. Okay, I said you are not a stagnant being. You are never supposed to sit still. You know how we have those children and they're bouncing all over with that energy? That was once you. That cool laid back thing that you're doing now, no. Stars was flying all over, lighting up everything, getting that energy up, moving faster than vultures and falcons and things like that. Now they have us on the ground thinking that we're stuck, thinking that we're supposed to stay in one space, and we're not. I said right here, you were never supposed to have any addictions to anything or anyone. And now sometimes with this thing called love, with them pumping certain chemicals in our bodies, we feel like we can't let something go. We have to have it. And some of us, it has driven us crazy with some of this stuff. And a starseed, God, a goddess is never supposed to be in situations like that, ever. But that is something that's been so implemented on us. That was like another one of the number one thing, have us confused with what love is. The parasitic being does not feel love, does not know what love is. Love is the willingness to let go, not strangle, hold, and choke somebody and all this other type of stuff. Love does not hurt. Love is always serene and peaceful. But all we see in this place that we call Earth is pain, love and pain mixed up together. And we say that it's normal, but it is not. It is all a method and stage of the parasitic being. All of it. And then I have here, they had to literally program you during that time, during the time that they did the experiments on you, to believe that you could be addicted to anything because you were able to let go, because you knew that everything always worked out for you. You didn't need someone to tell you that it was going to work out. You just knew it. That's just the way that we just was. And it's been so far that we can't even identify ourselves as a starseed. There is nothing. I tell you, when you type in starseed, you see nothing that looks like you. Nothing anywhere. Especially on some of these social networks, you can't find something that looks like you. It's almost like you don't even belong in the sky, when in fact it is your home. And that's where you're trying to ascend to. So yeah, I wanted to say that. The last few things that I have here, I said that, did you know that you were mind warped into being jealous of another human? You were never jealous of your fellow starseed. Everything you wanted to be, you was. Everything you needed, you had. There was no need to be jealous, ever. There was something else, some other experimental thing that they did on us as well. And they really had to drill that one. And when I say experiments, I'm not talking about lightly. I'm talking about abuse, going down to the nitty gritty, doing all types of sorts of things that your conscious mind will not allow you to remember. It was that torturous and heinous. Do not think for a second, starseed, that this is a joke, because it is not. Okay, I have here, I'll start over. I say, did you know that you were mind warped into being jealous of another human? So you would know that a starseed is never jealous of anything or anyone because he/she is always better than most. Always. And the only reason you even considered that thought of having to be better than most is when the parasitic being emerged, you saw what low was, what it actually looked like, how it behaved, and how it could not grow. The parasitic bacteria, you saw it. It could not grow without you, Starseed. It needed us just like it needs us here now. And that's why it fights so hard to bind us and bound us and reloop us / reincarnate us. But we are saying no more. It is time to go home. Okay, I have here the things you can let, okay. The things you can let go of are all proof of all the things you can't let go of are all proof of all the things that the parasite has done to you. If you find any type of addictions and you just cannot stop, you are literally looking at their work in action. You are seeing them. You have seen all the things that they have done to us. So when I say it is important for you to pull down your own personal cosmic light, it is. And it's irregardless of the things that they put in front of you to block you. It is yours. It belongs to you, and it doesn't belong to the others. It belongs to you. So you guys, I have said a mouthful. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I always have spiritual services, ancestor readings, love readings, spiritual clothing, spiritual books, weekly / monthly rituals. I have a protection ritual that is amazing for star seeds. You know, my clients love it. You can always get that too. I have weekly and monthly rituals. The full moon ritual is coming up. Tonight I have the protection ritual, but I have emergency rituals as well. So if you just need one in a hurry, we can get that going too. I have spirit team tarot readings and ancestor research, where I go and I kind of like gather the census records and stuff of our fellow star seeds as far as our ancestral line. I have it all going, you guys. I am being the best me that I can be, you know. And I hope you're doing the same. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll have many, 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 many more to come.